Hello guys, welcome to YouTube channel. So in this session, we are going to learn the flow control in PHP. In last session, we have seen what is simple data types, how to accept the inputs, how to just take the value and how to print that values. Okay. Now in this session, we are going to work on the flow control. So what exactly the flow control, what kind of content that have. So basically, as of now, we have just seen how to take the value and how to print the value. So let's check what we did in last session. So for that, we know we're working on the PHP. For that, we need one XAMPP server. So first of all, you have to run that XAMPP server. So make sure that whenever you're working with a PHP, so the Apache server is always started. Okay. And also we have to open the folder, and for that we are using the VS Code. So I will open the folder that we have created, because for running and creating the PHP programs, we need a specific folder. So what is our PHP folder? So go for the where the XAMPP is installed, XAMPP htdoc folder, and within that htdoc we have created one folder. The name of folder is due to PHP. So just open that folder now. Okay. So in last session, two session, we have just seen the first, in very first program, we have just seen how to print the PHP program, how to print the string on a screen. So printing string, we are using echo at statement. And then we seen a data type operation. So basically there are three type of data. Means mostly there are many types of data, but most commonly used string, float, and integer values. Okay. So as we know, the PHP is a dynamic one, so we can use any kind of variable and we can easily print that value. So that is not a problem here working with the PHP. Okay. Then we have seen some basic mathematical operations. See, number one, we have stored and number in number two variable we are using two. So in PHP also we have seen for storing data, we need to use a variable, and in PHP all variable are come with the dollar signs. So that we have seen, and also we have done some operation and have printed. So HTML tag is also supported in PHP. So but thing is that we need to write into the double quote manner. Okay. So in two, three programs we have taken just for simpling how to print, how to run, how to execute, and how to define a variable and how to print that variable. Okay. Now in this session, we are going to work with the flow control. In flow control, what we are going to see, what is the if condition, what is the else condition, when to use for loop, when to use switch case. That all things we are going to see the step by steps. Okay. So up to now that we have understood that if you have taken one variable and suppose for printing, starting with the PHP, opening tag, question mark, PHP. Okay, that we have taken. Suppose we have the one variable now. Suppose and variable is age is equal to something I'm age storing. Okay, and we know how to store, define a variable, how to store a variable, and how you want to print that thing. So you can easily print $age, no problem. Okay, after this, okay. But what if I want to check whether he's a child or adult or senior? On what basis I'm going to check that things? Okay, for now I need to condition based. You have to do the programs. Suppose I'm doing the voting program, and for voting programs, you need an age greater than 18. So those who have the age less than 18, they are not allowed to the vote. So now how can we do? We cannot take a two, three variable in different variables and values in two, three age in different variables. So within a single age, we have to check that whether it is greater than 18 or less than 18. Okay. Whenever there is a condition to check, at that time we need a if condition. So for syntax for if condition is, so you have to simply use the if. Then here is an expression, and based on expression, if it is a true, then inner block is executed. If it is a false, then outer block is executed. Okay, ELSE. So this is what syntax we need to write. So in expression means what? In expression, you cannot use any assignment variable. The expression always return either true or false. So that's things we have to remember. Okay. So here the expression when you write it, any expression, suppose we want to check number greater than, less than, or any kind of condition we have to check, but only those condition which return either true or false things. Okay. So now here we have to check the age is greater than 18 or not. So that expression we need to write. Okay. Let's quickly check with the practically. So we'll simply go to the files, and I will create one new file. So suppose uh, program name is if else. Don't use a reserve keyword if else, el something to the different name, if else dot PHP is an extension of file, and I have already opened that location file. So program is already going to save into that particular location. Okay. You cannot save in any other location that we have checked. Okay. So this is what a file. So simply start, just increase the font size, PHP. Suppose I'm taking one variable, age variable is equal to suppose 22. And here I want to check if $age is greater than or equal to 18. Then I will simply give the message echo welcome to O. Welcome to O. So whatever it may be. Okay. If age is not 18, greater than 18, then else part is get executed. So that part should be echo not allowed to 8. Not allowed to O. Why it is not allowed? Maybe the less, if age is greater less than 18, then you're not going to allow these things. Okay. Simply I already saved this program. Now the question is how to run this program. For running this program, go to the browser, just open any browser you can use. Just type the local host. So I'm using the port 90 here because I have the XAMPP issue, but there is no need to use for every users. Okay. Then our folder name. So YTPHP question mark. So now we have created if else program. See what we are answer we are getting. Welcome to voting. Why we are getting this answer? Because the age is greater than 18. So first condition is true and this will get executed. This will not executed. Suddenly, if I change the age 22 to the 12, so it will go here, it will check that condition. If it is not true, then it will going to print not allowed to. Just go there and just replace. So it is not allowed. Okay, simple. So if else when to use whenever there is a need to check the condition and only those conditions which written either true or false conditions. Okay, at that time you have to use the if else things. Okay, hope you understood these things. Now next, the next flow control is a for loop. When to use for loop now? Okay, for using for loop, suppose if you want to print some statement, suppose echo. I want to print suppose some anything echo. Okay, I want to print India. INDI. INDI. I want to print two times, so I use the two echo statement. I want to use three times, so three time echo statements. Okay, the number of time you want to use that time, amount of time you have to print the echo statement. So up to it is okay when you are using a two, three time, four time, that is okay. But if I said print this echo statement 100 times, 1000 times, so then we think, okay, how many statement I need to write? Okay, means whenever there is a things which are repeating purpose repeating multiple times until the certain condition is true, at that time you have to use the for loop. The for loop is basically used for the repetition purpose. So what is the syntax for the for loop? So basic syntax for the for loop is, so you have to use the for keyword, and within that for loop there are three expression. First is initialization. Okay, we have to use the initialization in it, then semicolon. The second is a condition, and third is either increment or decrement. So these are the three things that we are using in a for. Okay. So this loop is executed until that condition is true. So at that number of time this condition will get executed. Okay. Let's quickly check with it practically. So we'll go to our VS Code. I will create one new file. So for example, .php. Okay, basic syntax, question marks, PHP, go to here, type here, these things. Okay, now. Okay, I will simply take one for loop. I want to print some message for the 10 times. So 100 times, any number of time you can print. So for that, we need to use first initialization. So I'm using $I is equal to 0. Okay, semicolon. So how many time, how up to what you want to execute that particular loop. So that condition you have to give. Suppose I'm giving less than is equal to 10. So $I and increment by one by one. So I'm using $I plus plus. Okay. So this loop will execute it how many times? 10 times because it starts with the 0 and execute until the length. So I will think so INDI India, or even as a Bharat THARAT. But okay. So now try to execute this program, then check how many times it will go print. So just go there, go to back, just refresh, or list is what? For example, list. So it is printed 10 times, but it is printed in single line. So as we know that for printing the new line, we can use the HTML tag. The HTML tag is a BR tag. So just make use that BR tag. So BR tag. Go there, refresh. Okay, it is printing 10 times, but we are not unable to find whether it is 10 or not. So what we can do, we can simply concat this dollar number so that we'll understood what exactly the number is going on. So I'm going to add one more dot here, and within this we'll use dollar I. Now check, just simply run. See, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this for loop is get executed. In this for loop, what we understood, so initialize with 0, go up to 10 and increment one by one. Okay, what if I start with a 5? So initialization, always remember in for loop, initialization is happen only once. So if you try to run this program, so it will start with the 5 and go up to n. Okay, so I'll make it a start with a 1. So now by default, plus 1 1 means it is incremented by 1 1. You can use any condition here. Suppose if you are using the dollar I is equal to, suppose dollar I plus 2, then it will increment by condition 1 boundary. After 1, there is a 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay. And this logic is also you can use for printing even and odd number. So whenever there is a question like you print the even odd number without using the if else condition, then you can easily use with this condition. Suppose you want to even number, so plus 2 you can do. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and all are the odd numbers are there. If you want to print the even number, then just do the plus 1. So now check that. Sorry, plus 1 is by default is a plus 1. So just make it as a start with the 0 and then make a plus 2. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So these all are the even numbers. Okay. So in this way, we can add, use the for loop for printing all the things. So these are the basic syntax. Okay. Now we can make one real-time program so that you can understand the flow control of exactly for loop, where to use and how to use. Suppose now I want to create a multiplication of tables. So I want to create a multiplication of table. Means if I enter the 2, then it will print the 2, 4 up to 2 multiplication table. If I give the input as a 3, then it will enter the print the table of multiplication of 3. So what we are going to do, we have to take the PHP question mark this. Okay. Suppose we are getting a number as a dollar n is equal to 5. I want to print a multiplication table of 5. Now what we have to do? So we have to multiply 5 with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to what? 10. So simply I will take the for loop. Here initialization must start with the 1. Otherwise any number will multiply with the 0 that given the 0 that would not happen. So yeah. Okay. So start with the 1 and up to what we have to print dollar I less than or equal to 10 and simply increment one by one. So if you want 1 2 3 4 5, that's why I'm going to use dollar I plus plus here. Now okay, if you simply check what I is printing, okay, save this program. So program is saved for table.php. Say go to the browser, go back, refresh it, just increase the size table.php. See. So it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it is not one a single digit number because we are not added a BR tag. Basically, it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just use the BR tag, HTML tag must be the double quote. So that is double quote is things. Okay. Now go there and just refresh it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. But we want a multiplication of table. So simply what we have to do, we have to do just dollar $n into I. So it is already given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just multiply with the 5. So it will automatically give the 5 10. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10 up to what? 50. As simple. If you want to use some format, so that also you can do. So how can you use a format? So dollar $n, okay, Just make the concat dot double quote dollar n into I dollar I, then dot double quote equal to dot. So 5 into 1 is equal to 5. So this format is going to print. Okay. 5 into 1 equal to 5. 5 into 2 equal to 5. 5 into 3 up to 5 into 10. Okay. You can take any number as an input. So that also you can take the 23 as a number. Doesn't matter. It will print all the multiplication table of numbers. Okay. So fine. So this two for this flow. So what we have seen as of now, we have seen the two flow controls. First is if else, and second is the for loops. Okay. So in the next section, we are going to learn about the switch if else ladder, and then further section we are going to learn about while and do while. Okay. So just quickly revise what we have studied in this session. We have studied the if else condition. So if else condition we are needed whenever there is a condition based programs. At that time we have to print the if else models. Okay. And the for loop when to use whenever there is a repetition things we have to repeat it for repeating things we have to use the for loops. So for loop having a three condition. First is initialization, set conditions, and increment or decrement. Okay. And this is what the program we have seen. Okay. So hopefully you understood what is the if else condition, what is for loop, when to use the for loop, when to use the if else condition. Okay. In next session we are going to study the further session. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys.